Okay. Hi.
Wait. Hi.
We started. Yeah.
Did we start? Wait,
yeah.
I'm turning my phone into airplane mode so it doesn't buzz.
Oh, I didn't do that.
No, you should do that. It's
It's
courtesy.
on silent. We're fine.
Well, mine's on silent, but it still buzzes. And it's silent is a misnomer because it's still like.
Well, mine will, but it's not that loud, but it'll buzz.
Oh, mine sounds like a fucking power tool. It's ridiculous. It's an old phone.
It is an old phone.
It might as well be like a flip phone.
I remember for the longest time you used to say, it's an old phone because it was a flip phone. And then you got that one. And you've had that one since you had your flip phone.
I did.
And so...
I have had this phone for... I haven't had it that long. There was one phone between my flip phone and this current one.
Was it one of those itty-bitty ones that were the size of your pinky?
No, the last one was the one that was gigantic and it came with its own backup battery pack.
The backup battery pack.
It might as well have been a fucking notebook.
Right.
And an old 3-ring binder notebook for all the room it took up in my pocket.
Well,
and
that's the dividing, right? That's when they were like, maybe we should just make an iPad.
Yeah. And so this one is much smaller and I've had it for at least 4 years.
That's a long time.
Is it a long time to have a phone? This is how completely out of touch I am with tech. I don't know how long it is.
I've had mine a while, but I don't know. Are you dying? Don't die. Have some mule.
I think the mule is what's making me cough because there's so much ginger in it.
So,
and someone was out of lime, so I had to make it with lime juice, which is super sour and only aggravating it. No judgment. I mean, it still tastes good.
He sneezes when it's too much ginger, and it's fucking adorable.
It hurts to sneeze because I fucked my back up the other day.
That's right.
I'm fine now. Now, but I was in the studio the day of, and I was on pain meds, but my back was still kind of hurting, and then I sneezed really loudly before my session, and the engineer got on recording and got me going, achoo, ow. And then they made that sound my cue beeps for the rest of the session.
So it'd go beep, beep. Oh, nice. I like that.
Which just made me laugh. It didn't help my back at all.
No.
But they say laughter is the best medicine, but not when you have back problems.
Yeah, we're at that age where just randomly you'll be at the kitchen counter cutting something and then your back's like, you're not going to do that anymore.
Or anything anymore.
Oh, did you think you were going to pick that pencil up? That's funny.
Oh, did you think sitting down was going to fix this?
Oh, you need to get up you need to get off the couch? That's going to take 5 minutes.
God.
Out of nowhere.
I used to be able
some real bullshit.
And it's funny, I can go to the gym and deadlift 300 pounds and then...
Yeah, totally, me too.
And then I bend over wrong in the shower for the soap and it's oh!
That's a terrible analogy.
Is it? I mean, I have to bend over in the shower because...
Do you use a bar of soap?
I do, and it's on a little shelf.
You don't use shower gel?
No, I've never been a big fan of shower gel.
Really? Do you feel like it doesn't get you clean?
It doesn't rinse off very well that I've ever found. It's filmy and weird. And I just
gotta use a better foundation for it. If you use a good foundation for then it will all rinse off. But
what's this foundation?
A lot of them too, they'll come with moisturizers, so it is rinsing off, but it's leaving a moisturizer on you.
I don't like that. I like.
You want to squeak.
I want to squeak, and then I want to put moisturizer on afterwards.
Afterwards,
because I moisturize the shit out of myself, but not. I don't want to be. I don't know. I guess I just like being regimented. Let me get soaped off and then towel off, dry, and then I'll moisturize.
What's your bar of soap?
My bar of soap is usually Irish Spring because I really like the smell, and it's the least filmy.
Right.
Of all the ones I use. Sometimes Dove. Dove is really Dove for men.
Cetaphil's really good. Their bar soap is really good.
Oh yeah, I've done them before. Yeah, there's a good one. Lava soap sometimes is really good too.
Lava?
Lava?
That's harsh.
It's not that harsh.
It's
not now.
Harsh on your skin. You can't use it in the winter for sure. I mean, this
why not? It's lava.
With a bright red face because I literally...
you just got your face peeled off and you're telling me about harsh treatment?
It's not peeled off yet. The acid has been thoroughly applied and the shedding has begun.
You're shedding like a rattlesnake.
I am. I'm also biting like a rattlesnake. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is our Ghostacles episode for Ghoul Intentions.
Oh yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh, Ghostacles.
Yay! I hope you guys enjoyed our last episode. It seems like everybody did. So
it was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Oh, you were talking to them, not me. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean either.
I enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it?
I had a great time.
I did too. It's a good little the word would be lanyap. It's a Cajun word, it means a little something extra.
Okay,
lanyap.
Sure.
Lanyap.
I'll take it.
It's a good word, lanyap.
Right. Lanyap.
Sounds like a kind of animal or a boat.
Yeah, like it's a knot. It's a knot. It's a particular
It's a
knot.
particular kind of knot.
Do you know how to do a lanyard knot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm an Eagle Scout.
There you go. There it is. Are you starting?
Am I starting? Oh, yes, I'm starting.
You look ready, and I am not at all
Oh,
ready.
okay. Yeah. Do I look ready?
You have your phone up.
I have. Well,
I didn't even fucking bring my iPad
My
up
phone's
here.
only up because I don't know how to turn it off. No, but I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
I can do. So I am doing. I'm doing a creepypasta that I found, and it's probably been done elsewhere, but not by me. So I'm doing it now, and it's called "It Lives at the Bottom of My Stairs," and it is by someone who goes by the name La La Luma.
La La Luma.
I'm assuming they weren't born with that name because it's all lowercase. But who knows? They're a good.
Is
writer.
it La Luma?
La
or
La
La
Luma?
La?
It's all one word.
Luma.
So La 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 Luma, La La Luma, La La Luma, La La Luma, La La Luma,
La La Luma.
La La Luma, La La Luma. I don't know where the stress falls. It's an unusual name.
It's a creepypasta. It can be whatever we want it to be.
Good. Their real name is probably like Bob.
I was going to say Sally.
Or Michael. It's
Right,
like the most common name in the world. Because when you have a common name, you want a different name.
Yeah, James or Michael. That's definitely what it is. Okay, so give it to us.
Okay, here we go. I stand at the top of my stairs, socked toes curling into the carpet as one hand squeezes the door handle and the other hovers over the light switch trying to decide if it's safe to turn the lights out. It's nearly 7 at night. I have about an hour before sundown, but it's just dim enough in the stairwell to make me doubt if that really matters. I stare down at the welcome mat, and though I see nothing, I know the thing that lives at the bottom of my stairs is watching me. I know its gauzy white eyes never blink, and that its teeth, thin and too long for its mouth, extending far past its leathery lips, cannot smile, but I feel as if it's grinning at me. I know its gaunt, lanky limbs are curled and crouched around its small body, waiting to lunge the second the light is out. I know it isn't real. If it was real, I would be able to see it, but even as I remind myself of this, I leave the lights on. You see, I made him up, the creature that lives at the bottom of my stairs. I've always had an active imagination. Many children create monsters or imaginary friends with rules. A man who runs beside the car but can only run in the shadow of the vehicle. A ghost who befriends you but is invisible to anyone older than you. A monster who waits at the bottom of your stairs but can't move until the lights are out. I'm not sure why I never stopped doing this. I'm approaching my mid-20s, and most children stopped around 10, or at least they stopped talking about it. I try to keep my concerns to myself, though I have had to explain myself a time or two as to why I have to be the one who closes the door. I'm the only one who knows what he's doing, because I created him. The worst part is I know that he only exists because I think he does. There have been weeks or months where I can go up the stairs to my apartment and not feel his eyes on my back, his claws like fingers waiting to rip into me. All it takes is a stray thought, and he's there again. There have been times where I was too slow to close my door after I turned the light out. Nothing happens right away, though I know he's in my apartment with me. There is always a chill in my spine and a cold stone in my stomach when he gets past my door. But it's not like he drags me down the stairs or anything. For some reason, though I know he's capable of killing me, he doesn't. Even when I succeed, sometimes there is the dull thudding noise that starts at 2 a.m. and continues until sunrise, like he's slamming his dry, callous, two big hands against the door, demanding I open it and let him in. This has been the hardest part about accepting that he's not real, because I've had guests ask me about the noise. I never know what to tell them. Though on the nights he gets in, I can feel him watching me from the doorway to my room, which unfortunately shares a wall with that stairwell. He sits in the same spot all night, breath wheezing out his squished bat-like nose, body twitching and contorting as he runs his clawed fingers over his face in anticipation. Though I will never claim to have actually seen him, I will say I feel as if a trick of the light or a stray shadow have sometimes looked as if they were trying to reveal him to me. My biggest worry is I think he's getting closer with each time I fail. He started right outside my doorway, but he was a mere 3 feet from me the last time. I can't really tell because he isn't real, and because I can't see him, but I think he's getting more worked up. I don't know what he's so excited about, but I guess it will happen when he has made his way to sit at the foot of my bed. I think he's getting faster, too. I've been failing more often than not to keep him out. It won't be long now before he reaches his goal, whatever that is. Maybe it's to torment me and feed off my fear of what he'll do next. If that's his goal, he's succeeding. And it's killing me. I can't sleep knowing he's there. I know he's never attacked me in the past, but I'm always scared that tonight will be the night he decides that enough is enough and goes for it. My lack of sleep is hurting my job. My paranoia is ruining my relationships. All I do is sit at home and hide away from the creature I don't know how to stop. I'm sick of it. So tonight, I'm not going to hide. Tonight, I'm leaving the door to the stairwell open when I turn the light off. I'm turning off all the lights in my shitty apartment. I'm going to sit on my bed in the dark. Tonight, when his twisted body lunges and lurches its way into my room, I'm not going to pretend I don't see him. I'm not going to pretend that just because I made him up, that means he's not real. I'm going to look him in those disgustingly cloudy eyes and accept my fate. I'm tired of waiting.
Oh,
Don't do it!
oh, it's so creepy.
Just move.
Ah.
That's great.
It's such a
Such
powerful
a good
metaphor,
story.
right?
It really
Oh my
is.
God.
It's just good writing.
It's
Straight
good
up
writing.
good writing.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know, first initially I'm thinking Slender Man, right? Because, you know, it's
It's all the rage.
It's all the rage. It was all the rage.
All the kids want a Slender Man pinata at their party.
But it's that whole idea too about like groups of people, if they believe in something, can they make it come true? Of course, more importantly, this story is you create the things that you're scared of.
Yeah.
And you have to face them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta say, I'm not afraid, and let everybody else know you're not afraid too. And I think that's amazing.
There's an ancient concept of the tulpa. Have you ever heard of a tulpa?
Maybe. Continue.
It's a Tibetan, I don't know if it's Tibetan in origin, but it appears a lot in Tibetan Buddhist practice, where those so initiated can basically think an entity into existence.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm talking
and
about. Yeah.
that entity kind of then takes on a life of its own. I wonder if the founders of that concept had I wonder what they would think about meme culture.
Right.
Because we're living in a time where certain realities get, I think, dreamed into existence. I mean, at least they have all the power of reality,
Right,
because for the
yeah.
people in the weeds, they seem 100% real.
Yeah.
You know, and if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, talks like a duck,
Right.
you know.
The earth must be flat. The earth is not flat.
God, no.
Say that right straight up.
No, and if you think it's flat, God, take that inestimable amount of free time you have to look up why the earth is flat and
Read a book.
a different book than you have been reading.
They're not reading a book. They're watching videos on YouTube.
That's true. I don't think there are any books on flat Earth. They're bound to be. I shouldn't have said that, because now people are going to come in and correct me. It's okay. I don't care if it's in a book.
Right.
The Earth isn't fucking flat.
However, if you have stories about your crazy family members who believe in flat Earth, please send them to us. I would love to read that shit.
God, yes.
That'd be amazing.
There's a film called Eric the Viking. I don't know. I'm just thinking about this off the top of my head. There's a film called Eric the Viking, and it's not good, but it was. There's moments. I remember making a real impression on me when I was young, and I saw it for the first time. I was a teenager, and it's by the same people. It's by Terry Gilliam, or at least he was involved in it. Like, so it's the Monty Python group, but it's not a Monty Python movie. It's I think Terry Jones wrote the script, and Terry Gilliam may have been the director. I don't know the particulars, but Tim Robbins is in it anyway. And it's about these Vikings, and they're going on this adventure. It's a long and complicated story, but at some point, with them is a Christian who's newly arrived, who's at his faith, and so he's totally against the idea of Odin and the Valkyries and Valhalla. Well, they come to Valhalla at some point, and he's like their savior at some point, because things go south and they got to get the fuck out of there real quick before they get killed. And the Christian just goes, "Well, none of this exists," and he just walks like through the wall, and they're like, "Oh. Okay, cool." It's really weird. belief is a powerful thing.
It is. It is a powerful thing.
You can be trapped by it.
It's true. Mm-hmm. That is
very,
so true. Okay, so I will be reading today an email from Cassidy. It's a story she sent. And we got several stories, so thank you guys for sending them in. And we plugged them in different places, though we still need more. And we still need emails. Definitely
Keep them coming.
Send us emails of thoughts or ideas or,
we've got
funny
some
little stories
online and stuff. Some things we're going to be looking into for future episodes.
That's right.
Hysteria.
That's right. Our next
definitely
episode,
need some personal stories from you guys.
Yeah, my next episode will be based on a story that somebody told us. So that will be good. But also just like the short emails. If you have like a little story, because I know it's a lot of pressure to try to feel like you have to write a story that we're going to read. So if you just have a little story or something you don't necessarily think is you want to be read in the way that we do the cold opens or some of the readings, then just send it in like a normal email.
Yeah.
You can do it under the submissions, or you can just send it to ghoulintentionspodcast@gmail.com and just send us an email with like, little story, little something in there.
Tiny. It can be a tiny little blurb of a story if you want. It doesn't have to be. These episodes are more like a tea room.
That's right. It's a tea room.
Less a symposium than a tea room.
That's right.
So don't feel pressured.
Yeah. Okay. So this is from Cassidy. Thank you, Cassidy. I fucking love this story.
Oh, I can't wait.
Here we go. When I was 5 years old, my mother, my younger sister, and myself moved into the house where the man who I looked to as a father lived. It was an old train car that had been converted into a small 2-bedroom, 1-bath house located in a small town in Iowa, about an hour away from Des Moines and about 2.5 hours from Villisca, just to give an idea of location. My father had gotten it cheap because of the strange deaths that had occurred in the house, such as the previous owner dying seemingly out of nowhere, to a woman who had hanged herself in the bathroom in the 70s after becoming involved in a cult. But neither of those stories have to do with the one I'm about to tell. It was shortly after we moved in. I can't remember exactly when the first time this happened was, since it was so frequent at the time and long ago. But what I do remember was a girl named Emily. Emily was 11 years old, and she always wore a white dress with her dark hair done in low-hanging pigtails. She was always in mine and my sister's room. She would play with me and keep me company. She was the only other friend I had besides my best friend Kayla, who lived with her father in New York during the school year and only got to come home to Iowa in the summer. I remember Emily and I playing for hours, laughing and talking all the while. This whole time, I knew Emily was dead. It was something she had told me. That was why my parents could never see her, and why my little sister could. Eventually, though, when I was between 8 or 9 years old, my parents had gotten a divorce and we moved out of the house. Over the passing years, I started to convince myself that everything with Emily was just a lonely child's imagination at work and nothing more. Even though I would still catch glimpses of her or hear girlish giggling, I never mentioned her again and hardly thought about it. Fast forward many years to mid-2018. My best friend Kayla and I, who are 21 at this point, are sitting in my car in front of her house at about 12:30 at night, talking about the past and smoking a few cigarettes. My friend Kayla has psychic, medium, however you want to call them, abilities. We had talked about it a few times, but had never really gone into detail about it. That night, she looks me dead in the eye and tells me all about how she has been seeing an 11-year-old girl in a white dress and pigtails following me around ever since we moved into that house. I'd never told Kayla about Emily, not even her name or what she looked like. For some reason back then, Emily had decided to attach herself to me and is still with me even after 15 years.
Oh.
It's so good.
Oh, that got me.
I know.
That got me right in the feels.
Yeah.
Like, it's so...
It's a good one.
It's so lonely to think about a ghost that's just hanging out, but that you can't see.
And then you think about it in the grand scheme as she did see her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she stopped seeing her. And then her friend couldn't see her anymore, and she just followed her around. It's so sad. I did audibly gasp when I read this story.
Oh, that's good. I guess ghosts can be very patient. I mean, they got a lot of time on their hands.
That's true. That's true.
They're like, this bitch will die one day, and then she'll see me again. Like, I guess they
or maybe, maybe she'll have kids, and then I can hang out with her.
Yeah.
And why her and not her sister? Like, why didn't she go hang out with her sister afterwards? And I want to know what her sister's story is, Cassidy. Yeah. Does your sister have any stories? Please send those in.
There's got to be something.
I know. Oh. Also, just the idea of the train car that's been converted is fucking cool. I like that.
That is really cool.
I know.
That seems like a fun house.
Fun. I mean, house. With a ghost, but a nice ghost that you play with. She's a little bitch in white.
Oh.
It's a little baby bitch in white.
A little baby bitch in white. Oh my God, that's great. Did you have an imaginary friend growing up at all? Or friends?
Not that I know of.
Really?
No.
I had one.
Yeah? You did?
Mm-hmm,
what?
Mm-hmm. I had one, and he, I won't go into much detail except that this will freak you out because of what you know of me. He looked just like me.
I know.
And
this story.
He wore the same clothes. I thought he came from a star, and I could point to that star every night, and it was always the same star, and it was not an obvious star. It wasn't like Venus or Mars. And I was like, he comes from there.
Those are planets. So.
What?
Sorry.
He came from a star, but I could always point to the star in the sky, and it wasn't an obvious light. And I saw him for years, and I knew his name, and then I found out that he was real. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I want to save that story for some other time.
You're such a fucking tease.
It's too personal. It's too personal for me. I get upset because I used to see him too, and I don't see him anymore. And it bothers me that I don't see him. I still feel him around sometimes.
Right.
Every now and again. Like, I feel like he hangs out, and whenever, like, something is up, I'm like, ooh, I have a spidey sense. And it's like, I attribute it to him. I don't know that it is, but...
There's also, like, your brother has kids, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm just...
it's funny. Like, my oldest is never... my oldest, who's now in college, my oldest nephew, is in college. And as far as I know, he's never had any weird experiences. Because I've talked to him about it. I'm not saying
he would have experienced him. I'm saying he is him.
But what I'm saying... Oh, no. Because that's... No. But... that I've never thought of. I don't know.
I know. We can't talk about it anymore. He's going to have to think about it.
No. But my youngest nephew,
yeah,
who has some developmental issues, who's a very charming kid. Like, he's so sweet and very, like, just fun. He's a fun kid to be around, right? He, for all his developmental challenges, and they're pretty profound, like, he sometimes just fucking knows things that there's no way he could have known. He'll just say shit. Like, on Thanksgiving, we were sitting near him, and I forget what did he say, but it made me go, what?
Yeah.
We always bring Genji, our dog, over to, and we bring...
Genji the Frenchie.
Yeah, Genji the Frenchie. We always bring him over to Thanksgiving, because my sister-in-law's like, yeah, bring him, it'll be fun. But we have to put him in his little crate while we're eating. And we bring a portable crate, but we had to get... I left the portable crate.
Yeah, it's at my house almost all the time.
All the time, because it's like just this is his home away from home. So we had to bring the big crate that he normally sleeps in, and the crate is really, really unruly and hard to like it's just
it's like
take it apart
wire crate
in like 3 pieces and move it down. It takes like an extra 2 trips to the car and back. So we brought it with us, and this is just an example. This was over Thanksgiving, and we hadn't set up the crate yet because we just gotten there. And one of the first things out of my youngest nephew's mouth when he saw us was like, "Oh, hey Genji, why couldn't you bring his other crate? Why'd you have to bring the big one?" Which was still in the trunk. He couldn't see it. He had no idea. And I was like,
Genji told him.
How would you know? And he just and whenever I ask him how would you know, he just kind of laughs and like goes ha ha ha, and then like changes the subject. And I was like, you little He also, whenever he hears my voice on the radio, he always knows it's me. And he also seems to know whenever it's about to come on. Because he's been in the car with my brother, and my brother will call me up like, hey, I just heard your commercial. It's really weird. Your nephew always knows what's you. It's funny. He knew the commercial was about to come on before it was. And I was like, fuck, can he call me and tell me? Because I'd like to hear it.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so my youngest nephew has just a weird sight sometimes.
You might,
really
I don't know, you might, if you get a chance, ask him. See what he says.
He doesn't, he just kind of blows it off.
No, I'm saying, like, if he's seen or, yeah. It'd be interesting to see.
I don't want to plant the idea in his head because then I won't know if it's real.
Yeah.
And if it's like he's just decided that he is seeing it. Because
you know what you could do is tell him you had an imaginary friend. See how he reacts to it.
Maybe.
See how he does that.
I could see how that conversation would go. I could see him going, oh, he wasn't imaginary. Like, I could see him I could see him not making sense of like me calling him imaginary.
You fucking have to do it now and report back to all of us. Do it.
Oh, my imaginary friend Gabriel.
Oh.
His name was Gabriel. I used to call him Gaby.
No, it's okay. Well, thank you, Michael, for
You're welcome. I
sharing part of that story and everybody being like, what? Michael will be, where are you going this weekend?
I'm going to Milwaukee.
He'll be in Milwaukee, so if you're listening and you're in Milwaukee, just fucking ask this guy what he's talking about. He'll tell you.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
In person, he won't be able to stop himself.
I'm going to Anime Milwaukee. And
awesome.
I'll be there all weekend.
All right, well, have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Brandon's staying in town, so I don't get Genji again.
I know.
I had him last weekend, though.
You did. He loved it over here. It's the first time he'd been over in a while.
I know.
Because he'd been recovering from his back issue.
Yeah.
But now he's all better.
Yeah, he's good. Okay, well, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening, to our second episode of Ghostacles.
Ghostacles.
You love it. Everybody loves it. You're just going to have to deal with it.
Of course they do.
Of course they do. So... Again, you guys check out the website. It's ghoulintentions.com.
Yes.
You can submit your stories there. Just look under the menu. It's real clear. It says like submit your stories here or something like that. And then emails ghoulintentions. Ghoulintentions podcast. I know what it is. Ghoulintentionspodcast at gmail.com.
Yes.
And then our Twitter is ghoulintent.
That's right. Twitter is ghoulintent.
Ghoulintent, yeah. And then Instagram, Ghoul Intentions, Facebook page, Ghoul Intentions. So you can follow us on all of those things. We'll keep you up to date. And we will be back, I guess, Monday with our next episode. We're looking forward to it. I think you guys are going to love it. And remember, it's okay to sleep with the lights on.